Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. Bitcoin did not have a great Wednesday. We slid down quite a bit, but we rebounded and we're back above our support line at, I think it's 66,500 or 67,500. I can't remember which one it is. But things are looking a little bit better for Bitcoin, at least in the new day on it. Miners didn't do too well today. Not much news from the miners. We do have only one news story to cover today, which is going to be on Terawulf. They're buying back shares. They're doing convertible notes. It's like, what's going on there? Where's our gravy and steak and everything else that we were hoping to get with an HPCI play? We don't have that yet. We'll keep waiting on that with bated breath, I guess, and see where that leads us. But you guys know the drill here. We'll get into Bitcoin and the miners as well and everything else, but not financial advice. For entertainment only, do your own research. Full disclosure below that as well. Hit the like button, subscribe if you enjoy this type of content, and let's get into what's going on here with Bitcoin right now and the miners. So here we are on the charts. Right now, Bitcoin is up a little bit here. But today it was down. It was down quite a bit. It hit a low of 65,149. It closed at 66,600. So we are above our support line here at 66,500, right? Which is a good sign, I believe. We had the crossing happen with the 50-day simple moving average and the 100 simple day moving average as well. That's usually a good sign here because we had that happen before last October. Remember, if we go back far enough, where is it at? It is over here someplace. There it is. We had the crossing here happen on the 29th of October, roughly the 29th, 28th. And then you can see what Bitcoin did after that. So I'm optimistically thinking that we might have the same kind of setup here right now. We'll see how it goes. But we definitely need to have a much better month in October because right now we're only up 4.96% on the month of October. Not the best month we've had here in October, going all the way back. It's better than the red months, but historically, we had 2022, which was kind of a lackluster month, was up only 5.5%, but everything else after that was like in 20s, 10s, 40s, teens, and 60% range. So definitely need to do better here going forward. So we still have a couple more days. We have approximately, like 8 days left on the calendar here for October. We'll see where that takes us. Anything that's possible with Bitcoin, especially in a couple of days. It could go up 10, 15% in a matter of no time, actually. So we'll see how this plays out going forward. Now, the miners were all down today. Everybody was down in the red except for Digihost. One of the smaller miners was actually in the green here a little bit. ETFs were down as well. Not much to talk about there. Wolf was down just a little bit, about 2% on the day. And then a news story came out, I believe after the close of the trading day, that the board approved a buyback program of $200 million worth of shares. We'll get into all the details there. And it went down a little bit here in the after hours. So I'll give you guys my thoughts on it. You guys give me your thoughts as to what you think is happening there. Why did they do that? What's the purpose of it? Especially since they came out with convertible notes also along with it. But that's all we have here on the miners. Let's get into the stories that we do have here, which is on Terawulf. So Terawulf's board of directors authorized a 20 million share repurchase program. So today announced that its board of directors approved a share purchase program authorizing the company to repurchase up to 200 million of the company's outstanding shares of common stock through December 31st, 2025. So basically a year out. Right. The share repurchase program reflects the company's confidence in its business strategy and financial health. Okay, that's great. Terawulf intends to repurchase shares using excess cash. Okay, that's interesting there. Prioritizing this initiative after disciplined capital expenditures aimed at supporting organic growth in HPCI and evaluating strategic opportunities such as potential site acquisitions. No mention here of Bitcoin mining. That's also pretty interesting here. Right? Are they, I'm not even going to put words in their mouth, but it almost seems like they are looking to transition fully into an HPCI play potentially, because we have no mention of any growth in Bitcoin mining at all, at least that I could find in here in the highlighted stuff here. Okay. The timing, this is also interesting here. The timing, method, price, and volume of any share repurchases will be at the company's discretion. Okay, that's always the fact. Purchases may be made through open market transactions, privately negotiated transactions, or through investment banking structures, among other avenues subject to applicable laws. The company is now obligated to repurchase a specific number of shares and retains the right to modify, suspend, or discontinue the program at any time. Okay, so is this more of a fluff thing, right? Fluffy news? Maybe thinking that investors would be like, oh, they're going to repurchase shares. This is great news. Hoorah! The stock's going to go up. Will the stock go up? Maybe. But I think investors were looking for some concrete news on the HPCI deal. We didn't get that today. So were they thinking that this is possibly something that could pump the stock even further up? Maybe. I'm not sure. That's my thoughts on it. And especially since they're talking about here using Terawulf intends to repurchase shares using excess cash. Okay, well, excess cash, to me, that kind of signals that they're going to have excess cash from operations, right? So if you're making really good revenue and good profit margins, okay, yeah, you could buy back shares, sure. But why not use that cash for growth, whether it's for HPCI or Bitcoin mining? I think if they came out with that kind of story that, they're going to be doing this kind of growth through HPC and also adding some more Bitcoin mining or something like that, oh my gosh, I think the stock would have taken off even more. But this is kind of what we got here. And then we got, right after that, we got this note here, which is basically Terawulf Inc. announced a proposed private offering of 350 million of convertible notes, right? So this is more in line with what I think is actually going to be happening here. They're going to be offering the 350 million of convertible notes to grow. But they stated here that that intends to offer, subject to market conditions and other factors, 300 million aggregate principal amount of convertible senior notes due 2030 in private offerings to persons reasonably believed to be qualified institutional buyers in reliance on Rule 144A under the Securities Act of 1933 as amended, the Securities Act. And then down here, the company intends to use the net proceeds from the offering to pay the cost of the capped call transactions as described below, to repurchase shares of the company common stock and for general corporate purposes, right? So it seems like this is more for buying back shares instead of really even for growth there, because, they don't really talk about growth here either. So that's kind of interesting to me and kind of iffy a little bit. I'm not sure where their head was with this. I don't know whether they were just trying to see if they could maybe get the stock to go up even more because of this, which is a potential. I'm not sure. But to me, it just kind of seems like that without having concrete information in there on what they're going to be doing it other than buyback of the shares and general corporate purposes. Okay, well, general corporate purposes could also fall under maybe building out some more. But it's just not spelled out here. So it's kind of vague, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And 200 million shares, what would that actually amount to right now? I think right now it stocks at, $6.40, right? So that's like, what is that, 300 million shares roughly? Not 300 million shares, 30 million shares, I think it is. Let me do the math on my calculator here really quick. So if we got $200 million divided by 6.4, yeah, it's 31 million shares, 31.25 million shares. What is that compared to what they actually have right now, which we'll get an update on this. But Terawulf right now, as of last report that I could find out, had about 382 million shares, so that would bring them down to about 350 million shares. Right, not much of a change. They're at 10% roughly, 98% change, decrease in shares, okay. But if they're going to use the convertible notes and they don't pay those off, they're going to dilute anyways. So it's kind of like a moot point there, I guess, what I'm trying to say. So I'm not a big fan of this. I don't know about you guys. I would have liked to see a story about them growing or getting HPCI deal, personally. But that's just me. But that is it. That's all we got. Let's take a look at, just really quick, the market caps of the miners. This is as of today. We can see here that, let's see, Riot overtook Cleanspark here, it looks like today. Cleanspark fell down to 2.8. Marathon still at king here, 5.3. CORZ number 2 with 3.5 roughly. And then we got Terawulf here at 2.4. And then it looks like Cypher overtook IREN here a little bit as well. Then we got HUT, BitDeer, Bitfarms, and Hive as well in the list down below that. Now going over to the, where did it go? There it is. Okay, enterprise metrics. Look at this. Terawulf is now being valued at 300 million right now per current hash rate. So quite a huge disparity from where the other miners are at right now, which is kind of interesting because, yeah. And this is basically because I've updated their current hash rate to take out the JVs that they had, the JV that they sold off. So that's why that's reflecting in that right now. Based on the hash rate that they have currently, that's supposed to grow further into the future as well. I think they're supposed to try to get to like 13 exahash, but everything is said and done. We're somewhere around there at least. Okay, so still way overvalued enterprise value. If you look at just Bitcoin mining comparison, if you include HPCI, which they don't really have right now, but if they do get it, okay, then that might make more sense that way. All right. But that's it. We're not going to go through a whole list here on this. We'll get into your guys' Q&A side of things. We'll probably have a pretty quick show today if that works out. Let's see here. Where do I want to go? I want to go to Q&A. See what you guys have to say on all of this stuff. Definitely want to see what your thoughts are on it. And if I'm just out of line the way I'm thinking on it. If I'm alone in the dark, in the corner someplace, crying to myself. Let me see. Where are we at? Okay. What else we got here? Okay, trying to see if there's any questions. Visvin, I'm trying to, hopefully I'm pronouncing this right. Does Alfred exist solely to pump these companies strategically? Remember imminent Cypher acquisition months ago, then they announced dilution. Yeah, I mean, he said on Twitter, he did say that he's thinking that something will come out for HPCI this week. Now it's still Wednesday, so we got 2 more days. Something might come out. He was right on Cleanspark buying out Grid, right? He's been right on quite a few things. Gio says, hi, Seb. Thanks for your work. You're very welcome. Thank you so much for coming in here. Let's see. Have you heard the rumors of Cleanspark mining around 630 BTC in the month of October? I've seen numbers for that. Oh, excuse me. I had a burp. I do think they might be. Let me check on that. I would have to do the math on that. I think they're at like 20 BTC per day, roughly 2021. So that would bode well for that. If we have, let's see. Let's just do 20 BTC per day, right? Keep it simple. 20 times 31. Then, yeah, you're looking at 620, 630, somewhere around there. Yeah, that would make sense. Okay. Para says, Alfred is bearish. Bitfarms, LOL. Max long. Let's see. George says, Cleanspark and IREN. Let's see. Whatever they do the opposite. What do you mean they do the opposite? You're talking about Terawulf there? Whatever they do the opposite. I mean, well, the only instances that I know that they did the opposite was when Paul Prager was on with Bryce and Anthony. This is going back probably like 6 months now, 6, 7 months. And they still had the debt outstanding out there. Remember, he said that the company, them having the most, being the share owners of the company and things like that, having the most shares in the company, that they are now looking to dilute the company in order to pay off the debt. What did they do? They diluted the company to pay off the debt. So that was talking, saying one thing and doing another thing. Will they be doing the same thing here? Saying one thing and doing another thing? Possibly. Not sure. Time will tell. Let's see. Carol says, not taking profit till BTC is over 100,000. I'm going to be doing the same thing, so I'm with you there. Let's see here. I'm selling Bitfarms into Cleanspark and CORZ. What do you think? I definitely love Cleanspark, and I think CORZ is a great company as well. I think CORZ has more legroom to run, right, long term, whereas the miners, I think, have the next 9 to 12 months potentially. Maybe now it's even less than that. We're looking at 9 to 12 months or so. That they might actually outperform CORZ, especially if Bitcoin goes up the way we think it will. Let's see. Hi, Seb. How do you see Hut 8 in December? I'm already 50%. I'm already 50% by now. Up or down? If you're up, Bitcoin going up, I think that should lift them up as well. Let's see. Hank says, I agree about Wolf, Sebastian. Okay. Carol says, no plan to chase Wolf at this price. Yeah, we need news. We need to find out what's actually going on behind the scenes there. Why is the stock pumping so much? Can Bitfarms do 12 USD and Hive 16 USD? If so, at what price BTC? I think we're looking closer to Bitcoin being like above 120%. Wow. Above $120,000. I got to slow down. Let's see. Isn't it too high to chase Wolf at this price? Possibly, right? The only thing that could possibly change there that you may want to buy now would be if they have a similar deal like Core has with CoreWeave, right? That's a huge deal there. If they could possibly get that, I'm not saying that they can, because I think that CoreWeave deal is just a like one in a decade opportunity there possibly. So the other option is if they get bought out. And if they get bought out, how much more can the price actually go up from here? Another 30, 50% maybe, depending on the buyer. Maybe even more. Who knows? Let's see. Bitfarms. Do you think Bitfarms is a good investment? I think it's a higher risk than some of the other higher risk ones already, as it is. Only because I think the Riot hangover there. I don't know if that's having an impact on it. Also, them being in Canada, does that have an impact on it as well? Which could. But I think with Bitcoin going up, and if they report good numbers that they actually get to 21 exahash by the end of the year, like they've been promising that they are, and then buying Stronghold, they have a lot of growth going into next year as well, which I love. Their operations are historically great as well. So that's the reason why I'm in it. Let's see. Chris says Sebastian Wolf is a pump and dump scam done by the same people who did it with Riot in 2017. Be careful. Okay. was it Riot they were with, or was it? I know that they built or helped Marathon, I think, with what was it, Mount Harden facility on that one. Weren't they the same people in that? Let's see. Hank says, it appears Ben did an interview on the mining pod. I haven't seen it yet. Is this a new video? Does anyone know? I don't know. I haven't seen it. I'll take a look at that if I can find it. And I have not heard back. And it's also my fault. I didn't reach out still to Ben. I'll reach out. I got to reach out to him. It's just crazy at work and family and everything else. I just got to take a couple seconds and write him a direct message. Let's see. Hey, Seb, any thoughts on Doge? If not, cool. Thanks for your streams. You're very welcome. Doge. I own Doge. Right, I'm still in the green. I got into Doge before it was even a penny. So I'm holding on to that one for the time being. I should have sold when it got up to like 72 cents. Go figure. I was up quite a bit at that point. Lesson learned, but I'm still in the green on it, so I'm holding on to it, see where this cycle gets us, and sell at the top, and I'm done with Doge. Okay, let's see. What tier of data center is IREN compared to CORZ? They would be like a tier 0 to tier 1, maybe in Canada. I haven't seen the facilities in Canada, so I'm not sure on those. CORZ is also tier 0, but they're retrofitting their facilities to become like a tier 3 facility. That's why it's taken them quite a while, like about a year, to retrofit to get to that state. Let's see. Bevneet says, I don't think Terawulf got anything, Seb. They might be bluffing. They might be, right? We don't know. Until we get some definitive news on it, we're all guessing what it could be. Let's see here. CORZ and Wolf, which one do you think have more potential? Right now, based on what I'm seeing with the information that we have for core and core deals, I would say CORZ. Because right now we don't have anything with Wolf. We have hype, and that's about it on that one, and possibilities of what it could be. Let's see. Hey, Seb, did you see the Wolf short report that came out a couple months ago? If you could go over that report, it's quite interesting, the things that were said. Yeah, there were a lot of interesting things that were said there, and I think we talked about it when it actually came out. But definitely, if you have a chance, anybody that's in Wolf, definitely take a read on it. Oh, excuse me. It's always good to get an opposing view on your own views, and then see if where that aligns, right? Is there a lot of fluff in there, a lot of BS or not? Do you agree with it or not? Will you be buying more Bitfarms? I am not currently. I'm trying to hodl cash right now. I need to get ready for property tax. Not property tax. Well, property tax is down the road, but taxes for this year, vacations as well that my wife has got planned. So I got to start hodling a little bit more cash. I'd love to buy more though. Okay, let's see. Why is Bitfarms down? All the miners were down today. They were up a little bit, I think, earlier this week, but they're down. Yeah. Yeah, I just talked about that, Hank. I did not have a chance to reach out to him. I will do that tomorrow. Let's see. Did Riot up time improve in September 2024? Based on my numbers, let's take a look at it here. See what I got for Riot in September. Okay, so let's go here to the screen. I think it improved a little bit here, June, July, August, September. So I had them running in August for 18 days roughly. On that one, and then in September I had them running approximately 19, almost 20 days. So there is an improvement there. We just need to see that continuation on into, another 2 more days or 3 more days in here in October, another 4 more days added on to November, and maybe they'll get close to the 95% uptime that they promised, or that we should expect at least. All right. Let's see. Thinking of doing some leaps on Bitfarms. What is your price target after the bull run? After the bull run, we're going down. I just don't know how fast and how quick, or how much will go down and how fast. But I'm expecting Bitfarms to get somewhere between $15 to $20 towards the peak. On the lower end, we're looking at $10 to $15. Okay, let's see here. Chris, thank you so much. Thumbs up for Seb and Riot. Appreciate it. Let's see. What about IREN's class action lawsuit? Do you know about it? Yes, I do know about it. They are being sued based on their short report that also came out on them, stating that they are over exaggerating their potential at Childress facility in Texas for HPC AI, which I don't think they are. Right now, they're using most of their sites in Canada for that stuff. It's just because it's a better climate, and if they don't have to do cooling and things like that, that's better on them, right? Put the machines where they can actually go. But could they retrofit the facilities for HPCI at Childress? I believe so. Let's see. Question: when is the Cleanspark increased shares meeting? It should be happening like this week or next week, I think, isn't it? Like towards the end of the month here. Okay. Let's see. Seb, given today's Wolf activity, which I believe will enable them to ink a HPC deal, applied my guess, would this make Wolf a buy? Well, depending on the deal, right? Is it 10 million? Is it 50 million a year? Is it 100 million a year? What's the deal? That's going to be the question there. Okay. So Josh says 50% up. Sorry, Seb. So you're up 50% on Riot already. Then I would hold on to it. I would see no reason why you would get rid of it now if you're up 50%. See, Wolf getting a little too rich for me, rotating into CORZ tomorrow, might regret this decision in the future. That's the thing about trading, right? You just never know. Or you might love the decision because Wolf, for whatever reason, has no deal anywhere in sight and the stock falls from here. So it's a bet. I mean, you're doing an educated bet, I guess. I mean, if you're up nicely on it to take the profits, move over someplace else. Yeah. Rainer, can you explain again why you are such a Wolf hater? I wonder what your take would be if you were a Wolf holder, be honest. Well, I'm not a Wolf hater. I'm just looking at the things that I'm seeing, right? I've been tracking them for what now? A year and a half, 2 years or something like that, right? And the only thing that I didn't like there before was the debt. There was a lot of debt overhang. They got that paid off, which was great, right? Would have liked to have seen them buy more machines to get Bitcoin up and running more. That kind of growth things. Right now, it's just we don't have any concrete news on HPCI. So I'm just kind of giving you guys my honest thoughts on it. It's not that I hate them for whatever reason. It's just I've seen other miners do better. Now, if they transition over completely to HPCI, then it's a different story altogether, right? And I'm just skeptical right now on HPCI. As I told you guys before many times, it's like, okay, we've seen these kind of deals that happen only to CORZ Scientific and with Bit Digital. Other companies have smaller players there, yes, but they're only a couple $1 million at best a month of revenue potentially. So where is all this hype? That's my concern. Okay. Hey Seb, still you holding Bitfarms, and which tier Bitfarms? Which tier? Yeah, I'm still holding Bitfarms. Bitfarms is my number 3 as far as dollar value percentage of my portfolio right now. It's number 3. Cleanspark's number 1. IREN is number 2. And if you include Bitcoin in there, Bitcoin would actually be number 1. Let's see. Hut 8, 50% up now. What do you think its price in December? That's a tough one for me. I don't know. Okay, disregard any. Let's disregard like the HPCI play there with them, right? Take that out of the picture for now, because we don't know what's going to happen there. I know that they got a $150 million investment from Co2. We'll see what they do with that, but right now it's just an unknown. Their Bitcoin self-mining is horrendous. We know that. They have all their machines, all that stuff. They're not growing that. They are getting Bitmain machines for hosting with the potential to buy later on. Okay, that's going to be later on. So not taking that into consideration, they have managed services and hosting as well. How well will they do? That I don't know. I would think if Bitcoin goes up at least, let's say Bitcoin goes up 2x, right? Somewhere around there. I would expect them to be at least maybe like 2 to 3x on from there as well. Somewhere around there. That's kind of my thought process on it. Let's see, Seb, are you saying you haven't reached out to Ben yet, or haven't reached out again? I reached out to him last week, but I got to reach out again to him. You haven't heard back from him for the first one yet. Reached out, which I was under the impression that had. Yeah. So I sent him a DM last week. Haven't heard back from him. I got to send him another one just to see if he's interested. If not, I mean, I'm okay if he's not interested. I understand it. I get it. But it would be nice to get him on maybe. Let's see. Hank says, I bought a bunch of more Cleanspark this afternoon at the low. I'm so recklessly long miners. I wish us all the best. We deserve it after this roller coaster. Yeah. I've been buying with you there. I haven't bought recently, about like 2 weeks ago now. But yeah, I would have liked to have been buying more. Let's see. Hey, Seb, thanks in advance. What do you do for taxes? Do you use software to go to crypto firm? I use this one person that I've used for, gosh, now 20 years. And they've been great. So I do that. I pay a little bit more for it, but you get what you pay for, I guess. Let's see. Seb is a wolf holder. He's even a hut holder. Okay. What do you think of Mawson? Mawson, I thought was going to be going under earlier this year. The only thing that saved them was the HPC deal that they got there with somebody, to be honest. What else we got here? Also, what is your exit process? Coinbase, Kraken, not going to mention that. But yeah, Bitcoin, I think I'm going to hold on to Bitcoin. I'm not going to do anything with that. The stocks I will probably sell out. Okay, let's see here. Ben interview on the mining pod came out on YouTube 5 hours ago. Okay, perfect. Let me see if I can find that. I can't. See, okay, I can add a comment. Let me see if I can find that really quick for you guys. Or you guys can find it. I don't know if you guys can post links there. Let me see if I can post links either. Let me see here. Go to YouTube really quick, and I'll share that with you guys as well. Let's see here. Mining pod. Bitfarms probably would be the thing. 5 hours ago. There it is. Okay. So let me see if I can copy the link. Copy link address. Okay. There we go. See if this works. Here's the link address in the comments if you guys see that. All right. Where am I at here? Okay. Talked about that. See, it's all in WGMI. So you have all yours in WGMI. Oh, well, yeah, true. You're right there. Yeah, I do own WGMI. Yeah. Oh, so you're right. I do own it. I do own that, and I own some Hut 8 in that one. I completely forgot about that. Let's see here. Wolf seems like FOMO on possible. That 199 Bitfarms order filled. All of my mining buys has been good investment, except Bitfarms got to have faith. I agree. Okay. What are the reasons for upside for CORZ share price from CoreWeave IPO? Well, I don't know if that's going to be an upside there, but maybe potential of more collaboration between two companies, maybe. Or if CoreWeave actually IPOs, could they actually then start doing their own thing going forward as well, where they build out the infrastructure, get the megawatts, all that stuff. But at least if they IPO, I think it's more of a sure thing that they're going to be getting paid the, what's it now, 14 billion over the next, 14 billion or 8? What's it up to now? 8 billion? They're going to be getting? I can't remember now. Let's see. DGHI currently have some buy call leaps on Bitfarms. Strike price 750 expiring 116.26. Plenty of time to run up and then sell for when Bitcoin runs up. Okay. That might work out pretty good. Hello, Steb. Riot will stay on the back of Riot this cycle, so repeating the same cliche about Riot Bitfarms is not helping. Will you sell Bitfarms if it didn't hit 12 exahash this month? No, I told you guys I would probably wait until the end of November, right? So for once we get November updates from them in December, if things don't improve, I might be looking to sell at that point. What do you think the cycle top for Cleanspark and IREN will be? Cycle top, I think, conservatively, I'm thinking Cleanspark might get to like $60, 60, 70, and then IREN 70, 80. Only because IREN has less shares than Cleanspark does. Let's see. We consider uploading the lawsuit against IREN and critique the allegations. If you search my videos going back, I think I did that already when it first came out. I just kind of gave you guys my thoughts on it, on stuff, some of the stuff that was in there. So take a look at that. Let's see, many people bashing Wolf, yet is the second best miner performer to date. Yeah, it's done a fantastic job. Right, sometimes the market can be irrational based on what we're seeing, based on operations, things like that. Does it make sense? Probably not, but the market can be irrational. So we have what we have. Let's see. Bitcoin's going up tomorrow. We're done with the pullback. Is it still going up right now? Yeah, it's up a little bit more. It's up 1% right now on the new day, so that's good. Let's see. I'd like to see you speak with Adam Sullivan. Yeah, I'd love to get him like a X Spaces or something like that. I don't do interviews here on the channel. You got Anthony and Bryce to do that. They do a fantastic job there. It'd be nice to just get him on Spaces where other people can also ask him some challenging questions and tough questions. But that would be fun. How much more is the CapEx for Tier 1 data center than Bitcoin mining data centers? For Tier 1, you're not looking for too much more there. It's going to be, I don't know the exact numbers, but I'm guessing maybe 100,000, 200,000 more per megawatt, maybe. Excuse me. When you get into like Tier 3, that's when you're talking about somewhere between 7 and 12 million per megawatt. That's the big difference there. Okay. Let's see here. Para says, past performance is not indicative of future performance. I was in Wolf early and I've rotated out almost my whole position. In my opinion, pure BTC miners outperform 3 to 6 months. And that's kind of what I'm thinking too, but time will tell, right? If they get a deal, who knows where they could go. So, let's see. What's your average price and share amount on Rivian stock? I had more. I sold a bunch of it to buy into the miners when the miners were down towards the bottom. This was back in 2022. But I had like 1,000 shares in that one. I'm down to 100 shares of it. And I think my average price is like $18 something right now on that one. So I'm still way down on it. Let's see. Creative Media says, if Wolf gets back to all-time highs at 42 on the log scale, the 1.16 fib retracement shows $641. $641? No, that's not going to happen. $641 of 350 some million shares. You're talking about the company being worth, let's take a look at this, 350 million shares. Let's do that on even. 350 million shares times 641. You're looking at $224 billion company. I don't see that happening. Okay. Patrick says, after listening Ben's interview on Mining Pod, I bought more Bitfarms today. Okay, so positive outlook there. Anything you can share with us, what he said there? Question with the pullback, is Bitcoin bull about to begin? It's looking like it. We'll see. Wolf is still a buy. They have a max 750 MW capacity in their new site. Yes, but that's going to take time to build out. If they do it themselves, it's going to be very costly also. So that's why they need either a hyperscaler to basically buy them out, or to lease with them, which I don't see that happening possibly, or like a CoreWeave going in there as well. But it's still going to take time. You're looking at possibly for all that to be built out, maybe by the end of 2025 into 2026 at the earliest, I would think. Hey Seb, I'm reducing my position to Bitfarms. What's your thoughts on BitDigital? I like BitDigital. They're definitely transitioning over to a HPC AI play. They were asset light for a long time. They bought this new company with, 4 megawatts, 8 megawatts. They're expanding that out even more. And they're paying like $10, $11 million per megawatt to do that. They're going to be expanding the other, 8 to 12 megawatts also for like 15 million. So they're spending a lot of cash on that. And the revenue from there isn't that great, at least not right now. Can they change that going forward? Possibly. But I like the more pure Bitcoin. They don't have to be pure. They can be a mix of HPC and Bitcoin. But as long as they're growing their Bitcoin mining operations here in the next 12 months, those are the ones that I'm interested in. Okay, Barra says, Creative Media, do the math on the market valuation at previous all-time highs. Fun fact, their current market cap is already almost higher. Share count matters. Yeah, share count does matter a lot. They have diluted a lot here in the last year and a half or so. Let's see. Patrick says, after listening to Ben's interview, I'm going to buy more. But wow, okay, today. So it's got to definitely be some good stuff in there. I have to definitely check it out. So all you guys, if you guys are investing in Bitfarms or thinking about investing in Bitfarms, check out that video. Let's see. Wolf market cap in 2021, previous all-time high was $2 billion approximately. Well, please study. Yeah, they're at 2 points. What are they at now? 2 point. Where is it at? Let me get rid of that. 2 point Terawulf is at 2.4 billion right now. So they're already higher than their previous market cap. Let's see. Hey, Seb, are you still mining personally? No. No. All those miners have been shut down now for probably, what now? 2 years, I want to say? Since 2022? Somewhere in, like the summer of 2022 is when we shut down. So no. Let's see. Let's see. Par says 224 billion valuation for a wolf. Yeah. If you're looking at $640 that would be crazy. Brother in Christ, please. I think everybody would enjoy it. I wouldn't even enjoy it because I have WGMI. So that would probably pick up quite nicely as well. Let's see. Dynamite says, just a casual 40x Mara, the biggest miner in the sector, easy peasy. Yeah, they have they're the biggest right now, yeah. What are the pure BTC miners right now? I mean, those are basically, you got Cleanspark, Marathon, but Marathon's kind of toying with the idea, and then Riot is open to the idea as well, which I think all these guys would be open to it if they had a deal like CoreWeave. Bitfarms, I think, is also still a pure play. They don't have any HPCI, right? They're talking about possibly later on down the road that they might do it. But then you got the other ones that are still pure play, hybrid mix. Okay, let's see. Where's the Ben's interview? I added a link to the discussion up above. So if you go above the discussion here, comments, you'll see it up there. Where's it at? I don't know where it's at right now. But it should be up there. I saw it initially. Okay. Talked about that. Okay, talked about that. Okay. Hi, do you ever feel exhausted by the market throughout last 6 years? I hear BTC goes to 100,000, then 10,000, now 100,000 next week, next month, etc. Yet BTC does its own thing and never fails to humble people. Yeah, I mean, you got to have a pretty thick skin and a strong stomach for this market with Bitcoin, especially with the Bitcoin miners, because they're just another level on top of Bitcoin. But I enjoy it. I enjoy the data. I enjoy, doing this stuff. Let's see. Yeah. Remember, y'all, history does not always repeat, but it always rhymes. Bitcoin will be fine. Give it another 6 months or so. Yeah. Let's see. Hank, you too have a great night, and thank you so much. Let's see. Mara is not open to AI, in my opinion, after Fred's latest take on X. I'm not saying that they're open to AI themselves as a form of them buying the GPUs, building out the tier 3 data centers, and spending all the cash to do it. I don't think they're in favor of that, but I think they would be in favor of something like a CoreWeave and Core Scientific deal, right? Where you just basically infrastructure and you let somebody else lease it, put their own machines into it. I think they'd be open to that because it's still really profitable there. Okay. What else we have? Okay, this one. The market clearly has no clue how to value these companies. Valuations are all over the place. Also, why are the AI plays the only thing people care about while we're on the brink of a huge BTC run? Because that's the hype right now, right? That's the thing that investment banks are talking about, hedge funds, all these guys, everything else. Morgan Stanley putting out reports of how much demand there is, how much growth there's going to be. So there's all this hype right now. Is hash price getting more concerning, Seb, or still cool with the current action? I'm still cool with the current action. It's around in the 40s right now. Went up to the high 40s. So I would expect that where we are right now with Bitcoin price and things. Let's see here. Do you still mine? Yeah, I already covered that. No, I do not. Is it a good time to build a 1 megawatt facility right now? No. If you're building out right now, this would not be the time to do it. You want to do this while you're in a bear market to get ready for the bull run. Right now would not be a good time to do it. You're better off putting that money into the miners here, possibly. I'm not going to say which ones, but the better ones, right? You're going to do much better there. You're going to 3x, 5x, maybe 7x, 10x your money on it. Whereas right now you're going to plow all that money into a facility, buy the machines and everything else, and it's going to take you a while. And if by the time you build out everything, you're looking at, you're going to be probably a year out. You might be at the end of the bull run. So right now would not be a good time. Is a miner to Bitcoin multiple of 3x still realistic? Yeah, I think it's still between 2 and 3x, somewhere around there. Excuse me. Historically, it's been around like 3x, but I think as time goes on, it cools down a little bit more. We have more players in the field, everything else. But I still think that is pretty close. Any of the miners have plans to use SMRs? None of them have talked about it. Well, at least I haven't heard them talk about it. But SMRs are still a ways out. We're still probably at least 5 to 10, maybe even 15 years out before those get really commercialized. And we need to get through some regulatory approvals, all those things, some testing on those things as well. So it's still going to take a while for that to happen, but we'll see. Hey, Seb, do you think IREN could be a bigger HPC player with their proposed gigawatt purchases? What's your thoughts? They could. Right now, they're kind of going at it themselves, where they're buying the GPUs, servers, all that stuff, right? What if they partner with somebody like a core we did with Core Scientific? That's like the best example I can think of. Other than that, the megawatts they have there would be a good candidate maybe for a hyperscaler to buy them out, maybe. Or at least buy those sites out where they have it. Let's see, Roger says Bitfarms needs to go to 25 USD to make it worth the wait. Not necessarily, depending when you got in and how much you bought into it. I'm still in the green on it. I'd like to see it at least go to, I think if it went up to 10, 15, I'd be really happy with it. Let's see. Hey, Seb, how do you see progress of uptime for Riot? Do you think Bitcoin will cross 89 before the end of the year? I still think, yeah, we'll get there on that. And progress of uptime, they've done a little bit of a increase in uptime from August to September. We'll have to see what that increases from September to October, and see how they're progressing on that. But I'm hoping they do the best. Hank says yes, SMRs are a ways away. Yeah. Hi Seb, keep my questions. Keep your questions. How do I keep your questions? I'm not sure. Did I miss a question of yours? If I did, I'm sorry. See. Didn't get a chance to watch Ben's video. Any key points I should be aware of, please? I will check it out later after this. Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to check it out too. Let's see. Is Griffin worth an investment? Griffin is like a lottery ticket. You might hit it rich, or you might get $100 out of it, right? Something like that. That's the way I would kind of look at it. It's definitely more speculative, more of a risky bet, I guess you could say, on that one. When can we expect some Bitfarms news? Been a while now. Yeah, it's been a while. We'll get it at the end of the month here, right? The beginning of the month of next month in November. All right. So I'm all caught up with your guys' questions and comments. This was definitely fun. Definitely a shorter one. We're only at 43 minutes, which is kind of nice. You can actually go maybe watch the Ben interview here instead of going straight to bed after these shows. So I greatly appreciate you guys coming in here. And let's see here. Roger says, I'd rather wait for 70, 80 IREN than 10 to 15 Bitfarms. Yeah, I mean, that might be like what? For IREN, it would be almost a 10x potentially from them. Yeah, 10 to 15 would be like a 7x. 7, if we get to 20, then it would be like a 10x for Bitfarms also. But yeah, either way, it's going to all good, right? I mean, you're making money. I'd be happy. I mean, you think about all the people that are happy with just getting 20% gains on their stock or 50% gains. Some are even happy with getting, 5% a year. So all the stuff that we're getting here is so much more. I'll take all that we can. But yeah, we'll call it a day here. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. We'll cover it. If anything does happen, we'll cover it. And then that should be it. All right. So thank you again for coming in. Greatly appreciate you guys. Hope you guys have a wonderful night here. Hopefully you guys have a great Thursday and Friday. And we'll see where Bitcoin goes. We'll talk all about that tomorrow. All right.